Once upon a time, because all good fairy tales start that way, there was a fisherman. The tale doesn't specify if he was rich or poor, but since our fisherman had an unusual problem, we'll assume that he is. Just wait, and you'll see exactly what his problem was.
Oh, this is gonna be a big one. This is gonna be a... Not again. This is the 8th time today.
As you can see, he couldn't catch anything other than garbage, and that certainly doesn't fill his wallet. Thankfully, the man didn't have a family to provide for yet, so he did manage to live off his meager earnings.
Hmm.
However, not all of his catches were so boring. One day he found an unusual jar. Of course, as he held it, the jar fell out of his hands and broke against the side of his boat. Out of the broken jar came a genie, a magical creature with extraordinary power that had been trapped in the jar for a few thousand years. I know, what about the lamp? This genie was an exception, clearly. Anyway, the genie swirled up above the fisherman's little boat and informed him that he was terribly sorry, but he would have to kill him. The fisherman, not fully grasping what was happening, asked.
Why?
The genie then wove a tale of deception and woe. It seemed that his previous master had confined him in the jar that the fisherman had just broken. For the first 100 years or so, the genie told himself that he would eternally enrich whoever set him free. After 200 years, he promised to give all the gold in the earth to the man who freed him. 400 years later, he was still there. He vowed to give 3 wishes to anyone who gave him his freedom. 700 years into the future, his hope turned to rage, and he swore to kill whoever opened the dreaded jar. For the next 600 years, he brewed on that, until the fisherman broke the jar. So, terribly sorry, but he had to kill him.
Hang on a second. Before you kill me, could you answer one question for me?
The genie agreed to the fisherman's entreaty, and listened to his question.
How could you fit in such a tiny jar?
The genie replied that it was magic that allowed him to fit inside his one-time prison, and started to advance towards the fisherman threateningly. But the fisherman wasn't done yet.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem possible. You didn't really fit in that jar.
The genie retorted that he had indeed, and could fit in any size container.
Even a box like this?
Yes, even a box like that.
Nah, you couldn't.
Yes he could.
Couldn't.
Could.
Couldn't.
Could.
Couldn't.
Could.
Prove it.
Extremely irritated and highly enraged, the genie flew into the box, and the fisherman slammed the lid shut.
Bon voyage.